everyone, I am Plankera, and today we're finally starting to rig Shalom for Path to Nowhere. So this is what everything looks like when I first loaded in. It actually looks considerably less mutant than it normally does because I didn't use nearly as many masks here, but as you can see, I do need to tell everything to mask up, and everything will look a bit funny in the meantime. So when I first loaded in, the first thing I need to do is kind of sort my layers and put them all into the groups that they need to be in. And, unfortunately, it loads the layers backwards from how I have them in, Krita. So, but I do need them in that order in Krita because that's what determines the draw order here, so I just kind of have to figure it out and fix it when I come in here. Excuse me. So I'm just gonna start organizing everything. And that'll take a second and will be a lot of typing, so I might just, randomly stop talking because I do have a hard time just, trying to talk and type at the same time. Alright. So I'm just thinking about the order I want to do things in. So we have the hair there sitting at the top. And so let's see, I have the entire head. Let's do a couple for the eyes. I'm just gonna start putting things down before I start naming things. Guess I'll give the nose its own. And definitely the mouth. But I think that's probably all I need there. Alright, and the body will come here. Alright, so now I can start naming these. I was just getting them all down so this way I could name them in the order that I actually want them to be in. We'll do right eye. Oh yes, and I don't have the Krita file uploaded yet, but I will probably do that today. So if you're interested in following along with me, I will have that up. Alright. Now I'm gonna start putting layers in. They're gonna be like at the bottom here. This is why sometimes, yeah, I think I probably will just start from the body. Since they're all in reverse order and there's a ton of layers. Okay, and within here, yeah, I probably will do separate nodes for all of them. So I'm just thinking in terms of things that I want to move as a group. That tends to be what I use nodes for. You notice that I used a mesh group for the hair instead of the node because I don't expect to be like transforming the hair left to right, up and down, and that kind of thing. It's probably just going to be strictly deforming it, and so a mesh group makes more sense for that. Whereas some of these I might want to move around, and sometimes, admittedly, I just make nodes to act as folders, even though you're not really supposed to do that, but I find it easy. So, let's see, do I need a separate node for the ball? I don't think so. Pretty sure I can just... Okay. So yeah, that's why I have spots for the head and spots for the body. Just because I do find that to be a little bit easier. Okay, now I should... somewhere, yeah, this duder. Let's see, the head is gonna go... So I'm deciding where the center of the head is, based on where I want it to be able to rotate. And I want her to be able to, like, you know, turn her head side to side here. So I want it to be able to rotate on, like, kind of the bottom of the chin area. Probably, like, right about here. And that's where that rotation will happen. Alright. And so the center of the right eye is going to be just, like, right on the pupil of the right eye. Which is her right as opposed to my right. Actually, I probably want those a little bit more centered. So I'm going to hold shift and drag upward. So this way it stays a little bit more centered. Probably should have done that for the initial one too, but oh well, I don't really feel like fixing it. It's not that important. Just makes sense here. The triangles here are probably things that don't really need to be nodes. Because I don't intend to do a lot of individual movement here, but it just makes it easier to keep track of sometimes, so I'm doing it anyway. Alright. So now I can start figuring out how I want to divide things in the body. So I do know that the coat is definitely going to have its own. And then definitely one for each arm. Right now I'm just doing the top ones, the outermost. Yeah, let's do left arm. And I'll reorder these once I kind of have them all down. Because I want the arms to be able to move a little bit. Like, I don't expect them to be able to move that much. This one might move a little bit if I wanted to bring a finger up to her mouth, but besides that, they will probably not be moving much. And let's see, I can't hide the coat very easily right now. So let's go ahead and get the coat layers in there. Control, okay. I'm just gonna dump them all in there for now so that I can easily hide it. Oh, god damn it. Misclicked and lost all my selections. This happens more often than I like to admit. For someone that draws, I am actually quite clumsy. My hands never quite seem to cooperate with me, so... here's hoping this doesn't happen that often. Okay, and then there should be... actually, it's probably up here, isn't it? Where's my last coat layer? There it is. Oh, that's only half of them. Okay, the other half are gonna be further down. That's right, because there were like 50 million coat layers. You'd think I remember, considering I just checked them all the last couple of days, but... it can be easy to forget just how many there are. So the first few steps of rigging stuff like this is, not exactly difficult, but I do like to take the time to do them right, because it saves me a lot of trouble in the long run. And typically, I do not actually get to where things start to move on the first day. Okay. Now I can put the arms to where they go. So the left arm is going to be up here. Yeah, that's about where I want it to rotate. And up here. And that will be about where that arm rotates. Now we can turn the coat back on. Okay. Because yes, the first step is largely just organizing the layers, getting them into the various groups that they need to be in, and then meshing everything. I don't always mesh everything right from the beginning, but I do try to mesh a lot of it. I probably will spare you guys somewhat and not just immediately do everything. Okay, so what other groups are going to be important here? I probably won't need to hide the shirt at all. Just excuse me for a moment while I think a little. So I know I'm going to want to turn her body left and right, so that probably makes sense for a shirt mesh group. I'll bring this up. I think I'll leave the shirt in its own mesh group and have the chest just kinda hang out in the body, and I'll move that manually. Because it only has 3 pieces. And then... okay, we'll do the same for the skirt. I did not mean to double click there. Probably like in the middle here. Okay. Feet aren't going to move much, so I think I will just do that as a node. And I'm making sure to set my nodes to where they need to be, because if I don't do that now, I will have a bad time later. It will be kind of a thing. Yeah, in fact, I should have moved this one earlier, but I don't think it really matters where it is, so hopefully that's okay. Left arm, right arm. Okay, I think we're good. So I think those are the big groups. I probably want one for the back of the coat, too. I'll make it a mesh group. Send him up there. Alright, let's start here. I'm gonna organize these a little bit. Even there. I can't tell. You are not. Get in there. Sometimes it has trouble putting stuff at the bottom. Okay. Go with the skirt lower. Largely organizing it from top to bottom in a way that makes sense to me, because the order just doesn't matter as much as it does in like an art program, because what determines the order of the layers is a parameter on each layer. So I can basically put things wherever I want. I group them based on how they're going to move as opposed to how they are ordered here. Okay, so I think I can start grouping these. Just gonna do the large ones here, and then also do some mask stuff. So basically what this will do is make it so that these shadows will only show up on the coat back like I want it to. That'll be how I fix the eyes and stuff later. And then slowly but surely, these will start just going in place. So I just start doing the masks and all that stuff here. Don't really want the collarbones to be going outside the chest. It's probably not too important that I mask them, but it's fine. Get all those into the feet. And then I just collapse them to keep things simple for me. Alright. So that's going to be this hand. And shirt. Okay. So all of this goes into the right arm. Once again, her right, not mine. These go into the other arm. So all this is going to go into a mesh group. What the mesh groups do is they let me move all of the layers at once. So it just makes my life a little bit easier. And then I'm collapsing the groups as I sort them, just to make it easier for me to find, or, you know, sort the rest of the layers. Because, you know, there's a lot of layers. A lot. And as I collapse them, I can get down to the bottom of the group more easily, and I don't have to scroll quite as much. And then I'll subdivide these a little more a bit later. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm just trying to save myself some scrolling effort. And then I'm thinking about how I want to handle the necklace here. I don't think a mesh group really makes sense for them, but I don't think a node really does either. One for the flower does. I'll just go ahead and bring them all on over. I'll just put them on the neck. I think I want the shadow up here. And now... Okay, now the flower's at the top, that's right. Yeah. It's going along, and I do think I will set all these underneath the necklace, though. This will just make them move together a little bit more easily for me. Alright. Now it looks like we're getting into some arm stuff. Left arm, right? Yes. The joy of dyslexia. Dyslexia with having to think backwards and thinking at it from her perspective instead of mine. Okay, and so for this I need a special type called a composite. These are for hair shadows. I'll call them body hair shadows. And they're actually going to go match up with where the hair itself is. So I actually want it center about where the hair mesh group is. So I will actually take that number. Probably not important to get it just right, but... Oh, that's right, I can't do it like that because it's relative to the head. Oh, it's fine. It was a little bit higher. It's probably not that important to get it just... in the exact right spots anyway, but I like it to be similar. It makes it a little bit easier for things to move. Alright. This I will set to multiply. That's what makes doing this easy. And I'll just have to worry about draw order in a little bit. In fact, I probably actually want this to be the hair. Move with the hair, not with the body. That makes more sense. Alright. And I guess we can... Oh no, it's gonna be painful to start clipping that. But I guess I should get started. I know, I'll do it after I sort the coat. And that'll make it easier for me to do that, so I will keep going for the time being. Be changing my mind a few times here. That's alright, I can do that. Head shadows go on the head. I properly clipped the neck shadows to the neck. I don't think I did. Oh no, I did. Okay, good. It's always nice when I surprise myself like that. Okay, these are just... no, your head. Thank you. You should also go on the head. A case of probably not super important that I clip these, but it might save me some trouble later, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Alright, now it looks like... Huh. Okay, no, these are hair shadows. These ones I didn't have set to multiply though, so... Go put all those inside the head. Alright, now we're getting to the mouth. So that means we're almost done with the initial sorting. It's not taken that long, but there's a lot more to do. I still need to further subdivide these. Some of them will be subdivided, some of them won't. No. That's... There we go. I still have the mouth part selected when I didn't realize it. Okay, so now left eye. I'm including the eyebrow in that. So this is why I was very particular about how I named my layers. Because that's making this part a lot easier. You can see it's not taking me too long to realize which ones go on the left, which ones go on the right, and various things like that. Let's see, I know a lot of people like to put the head itself into a mesh group, but I have not had good luck with that. I've never been able to get it to respect symmetry quite the way I want, so I prefer just to do everything manually. It's fine, it doesn't take that long. The hair, however, totally fine having that in a mesh group. Especially when there's this many pieces. Alright. Ears I'll just put below the head layer. I don't think I want them grouped with the head, but... This is part of the necklace. It might get its own node to let me move all four at once. But I'll do that once I divide things up a little bit more. I think I can minimize these now because this all looks like it's just Shorl here. And I'm not making a group for all the debris because those should all be free, moving independently. Wall I figured would be its own top there. There we go. And all the rest of these, let's go in the top triangle. Okay, and I think that's everything sorted. Initially. So let's see. I don't think any of these need, like, more granular sorting. I should go through and... Where's my mask here? Okay, so all of these should have this as a mask. Oops, me grabbing the wrong layers. Sometimes I do think a little bit backwards in that, when I have the mask layer, I want to drag things onto it instead of it onto things. I do that a lot. And then I catch myself and I end up changing layer orders and various things like that. You can see right now the mask is kind of peeking out through here. But that's why we reduce its opacity to 0. Because I don't actually want this to show, I just wanted to help define where things should and shouldn't be. And I don't think that any of this needs any further subdividing. Should probably mask the things in the ball though. There we go. Okay. And then I do know that these copies that I made, which ones are the copies? They're probably... No, not... Can I... Okay. Stick them somewhere over here. Just so that they will be off of the main triangles for later. For when I attempt to make this spin. There we go. Okay. So we'll see if I can figure out how to make it spin. But for now, I think everything is all grouped together as it should there. So now we'll do the head. So the first thing I'm noticing is that the body hair shadows are not in the right place. So I need to experiment with the layer order, try to get them to where they need to go. I think this is probably okay. Let me see, are they showing up in the coat? I don't think they are. That one. Okay, they are showing up at the coat, so that's probably an okay place for now. If I find they need a better number, I can do that later. So now I'm looking at the hair here and I'm like, do I want to sort you guys into groups? And I think I do. There are certain ones that I think I kind of want grouped together. I don't think I'll group them quite as much as I did when I was drawing it. I only did it like that because... mostly for my own sanity, so this way I could hide layers easily and just keep everything neat, because I knew that Inochi2D would not be keeping any of my folders. Should pull this out a little bit more. Okay. Let's see, how do I want these grouped? I think I mostly just want the ones that are going over the shoulder be in another group. Do I need that? I'm not actually sure. You know what? I think I'm gonna just hold off on that until I actually start trying to make things move, because I may not actually need anything more than that. The eyes, however, definitely need some more groups. So this is going to be... So basically what I need to do here is we go ahead and throw in all of the eyeball layers. Let me go find them. The shadows, and I think that's probably it. Well, that goes in here. And then I clip the composite layer onto the eye white. And that'll fix that issue. While also allowing me to clip the shadows onto the eye itself. Okay, now I have to get it under the eye here. I probably don't need that much. Oh, maybe I do. Where is my eye white? 3, okay. I'll just bring it down there. Oh yeah, and the pupil should be in here too. Probably doesn't need to be, but it makes it easier to keep track of. Okay, and I think this amount of subdivision is probably fine here. Do I need anything else? I'll see if I need anything else later. But so far, this seems fine. And I want to respect the layer order I had in the other eye, otherwise I will drive myself crazy. When things are in a different order, it's just one of those things that every time you touch it, you expect it to be in one spot, and it's not. And that can get a little annoying. So let's see, where are you? 124. So yeah. I wonder why it's doing that. Looks like it's on top of the eyelash, but it shouldn't be. Did I just, not draw some of this properly? Well, I hope not. That would be deeply unfortunate. Okay, I should probably solve this now. It's like... It's the eyes. I mean, it looks like it's all there correctly. I just need to... Okay. I probably need to do it the other side too, then. Admittedly, I only have some idea of what that threshold slider does. But, as far as I can tell, it's an aliasing thing and how it kind of respects opacity. I guess calling it's not just for aliasing, but how it handles opacity changes. It's weird because I don't think there were that many opacity changes here. I don't use that many semi-transparent layers. And the eye white certainly wasn't one of them, so I'm a little confused as to why I had to adjust it there. Because most of this is completely opaque. Well, alright. Nose I don't think needs any further subdivision. Yeah, and I think this is fine. Okay. So this is where things are gonna get interesting. Okay, and that's all fine. What is that? I guess I'll figure that out in a second. I do think I just want this in its own little area, though. Just to make it easy to move around. And I don't think I need to... Well, maybe I should make it a mesh group, actually. Do I want to deform this? Probably a little bit. Oh yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I probably do want to deform it a little bit. As I move it, as I let her body move to the left and right. Oh. Went back too far, and now this is wrong again. Okay. Back to what I was doing. I find I do silly stuff like that quite a lot. Okay. So this is fine. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm pretty sure this doesn't allow for nested mesh groups right now, and I don't think I'm doing anything like that yet. Yeah, so far we're good. But here... How exactly do I want to divide this? Do I want to divide it into left and right? It might make sense to divide it into left and right. The other question is, where do I want to use my mesh group? Does it have trouble with nested mesh groups? Gosh, I don't remember. It's been a little while since I've looked into some of this, so maybe I should leave it at that for now and actually start like meshing stuff in the head. Yeah, let me refresh myself on how mesh groups work before I start further subdividing things here in the body, because I definitely want to make sure to get that right, because the body is quite complicated. And for now, I can just start doing art meshes on the head. Alright. So, this is the art mesh. What, this is gonna be how I tell the program to deform everything, so it just makes a series of triangles. And then it uses those triangles and all these points to figure out how the pixels underneath should change based on how I move them. You can see I'm making the one for the head very fine. I'll be copying this over to the headlines and all that good stuff. Probably the head shadows too. I might make the head shadows one a little bit more detailed, but for the most part, I will just be copying this. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the one here, and then I'm going to go mesh the head shadow and copy it, and then copy it back over to here. This way I can just use the same mesh for this head, the headlines, and the head shadows. And I can just, every time I deform it, I can copy the deformation over to all of them. Make my life easy. This is what you have to do when you don't use head mesh groups. Maybe at some point I should just learn how to use them properly, but today is not, that day is not today. Every time I've tried, it just, let me actually start triangulating here. Oh yeah, every time I've tried, it just, I don't know, I can never get it to do quite what I want. And it just ends up looking weird. I suspect that's more of a me problem than a program problem, so... I haven't been too worried about it. I'm sure at some point I'll figure it out. It's like when it comes to this stuff, there's a lot to learn, so. So you can see I'm telling it to just show me where all those triangles are going to be. And I can see it's... You can see there's some extra triangles being formed. I'm going to have to go in and take those out later. I probably don't have to. Like, I'm not sure if they'll do anything, but they will definitely confuse me. So I do just like to get rid of them. And you can see while I'm meshing here, I'm trying to keep them as very neat little isosceles triangles. As much as I can manage. Because if you start making weird triangles, they, the deformations will get kind of sloppy and they won't look as good. So you want to keep your triangles nice and neat. Just like this. I generally prefer to do all the meshes manually as opposed to using the auto mesh. For some things I might try to use the auto mesh. I'm trying to get better about knowing where to use that to save myself some time. Because I do think some things probably just don't need to be meshed out as cleanly as I'm doing. So I might do some experiments with that here. With this one. See if I can't save myself some time in the future. But the head is too important. The head should, I definitely want to mesh that manually. I very rarely do the triangles manually, though. I prefer just to let the auto triangulation do its thing and then go in and clean up the ones that I don't think I need. I'm not sure if it's... I think it's probably a little bit less time consuming, but... It is a bit annoying to have to clean up the triangles. I know it's on the list of things to do eventually to kind of clean up some of the unnecessary triangles that have, like, nothing in them. But there's a lot of features, and a little quality of life feature is maybe not as important as some of the other ones. I haven't gone to look at this slated feature list in a while. Maybe I should do that sometime. Let's go lurk on GitHub. This is an open source project. So I can go look through the source code if I feel like it. I've looked through it a little bit, but it definitely goes over my head. At some point I wouldn't mind learning about some of this stuff, but I have so much I want to do. It's like, man, when do I find time to do it all? There's just so much to see, so much to learn. I always wish I had more time. Never seem to have enough of it. Makes me wish I didn't have to sleep. It would be very nice to never have to sleep again. Get a third of my life back. Not quite ready for that one yet. There we go. Okay. So I've gone all the way around. The rest in the middle is just solid color, and I'm going to be replacing this mesh later anyway, so I'm just going to go through and clean up some of the unnecessary triangles. Oh, shoot. I hate it when I do that. Still had the last one selected, so I thought that I wanted to make a triangle down to that one as opposed to get rid of some of the triangles over here. Like, no. That's not what I wanted. Not at all. Yeah, let me go through and clean up the triangles first, and then I'll neaten some of this. Right now, it's maybe a little bit messy. Okay. So let's just neaten some of this. I'm not worried at all about the triangles in the middle. Let's see. There we go. Just missed one there. Make sure all these triangles are very nice. As nice as I can make them. Honestly, doing this is a nice change of pace after spending so much time on the art. Just preparing it all. Okay, so now all these little triangles are starting to all line up well, and I think everything is about in place. Just gonna neaten up the ones up here. Okay. So I think that should be good. Let's look at the shadows here. I'm gonna copy this. And then I'm gonna... Let's see, how do I want to go about this? Actually, I guess I didn't need to clean that up because I'm gonna have to retriangulate everything here. Oh well, at least I have all the vertices in good spots. Okay. So I'm not too worried about the ones that are kind of outside. I do want to get them in triangles, but I think they're going to be larger ones. So let me just get some out here. I'll do it in 2 layers. You can see I'm being a bit less particular out here. I'll be a bit more particular on the inside. But I don't expect to be using the ones out here that often. And yeah, I don't want this to be symmetrical, so... Because the head shadows are not symmetrical. You're not symmetrical at all. Try to space these out a little bit more evenly here. Okay. I'll tell it to start doing its thing. Now I can start worrying about the ones on the inside. The ones that actually matter. Once again, I don't think I need it quite as fine on the inside here. Actually, I guess I should finish the ones that are going on the outside first. Yeah, I mean, you can see I'm not being super particular about it. Just trying to... make sure that all of it is covered. Like even when I copy and paste this onto the head and headline, it's not really gonna matter because the head and headline will not have any pixels outside here. The only reason I'm even doing that like that is just so I can have the meshes be identical and let me copy and paste them over. It's strictly to make my life easier. Oh, I don't really care what they look like. As long as I can move this part along just fine. Oh yeah, and I forgot to make a mask for the neck, didn't I? Ah, shoot. I'll get that in for tomorrow's stream. Man, I was trying to be so careful about not forgetting anything. But I still managed to. I'm so sad. Because yeah, one thing that I wanted to do is that when she looks up, I can make the line on the bottom part of her head, you know, kind of around her chin, disappear. And that'll make the effect of her head turning upward look a little bit more convincing. So that's something I like to do. Well, I'd say it's something I like to do, but more accurately something I've seen other people do because I don't use line art and this is not relevant to me. I just move a shadow around. These are things I don't have to worry about when I don't use line art. Alright. I'm just going all the way around, trying to... It's like this side, I might honestly want a few more layers just so I can move it around a little bit better. So you can see the parts that I'm looking at when I want to put these dots is you can kind of see that there's this bit of a subtle color change here. So I'm kind of trying to keep them around that, so this way I can move that color change a little bit. Just put it wherever I need it. And there was less of that on the other side, so I wasn't especially worried about it. Alright, now I'll go around again to get the kind of outer edge of here. Here I'm going to be a little bit neater with the triangles. Kind of try to match what I already made. So this way it should look nice once I start trying to deform it. There we go. It's always a bit of a pain when it does that because I want it to go across. So I'll just bring these triangles a little further out than I would like. And just so I don't have to remember to clean up those lines. And I'll move the vertices back into where I actually want them to be once I bake the lines. I always find that to be a little bit easier than trying to wrangle everything and just redrawing everything. I mean, sometimes I go through and I just manually do the lines in those areas. Sometimes that is easier, but sometimes I can just get away with making them a little bit longer. Okay, so now I have to figure out how I want to do this part. Because here I do think I want it to go in a little bit more. I want another layer of triangles on this side. Don't so much care about the other side. Nope, this is all fine. Thought I messed something up for a second there, but I did not. Normally when I see a shape like this, that's a sign that I have a triangle in a bad spot, but in this case it's just because I have less triangles on the outside than I do the inside. So that is completely expected. Alright, and here I break the pattern a little bit and start going around here. Being a little bit more fine here, but not as fine as I was in like the edge of the head. Alright, and before I keep going, I actually want to do the inside here. And just get things going along the inside. There's going to be a few distorted triangles here, and there's not much you can really do to avoid that. It's probably extra. Yeah, I think that's okay. Oh yeah, as you can see that there's still a few more steps before I actually start making things move. But I should have all this done by then, and I may not mesh it all in one go. Sometimes I mesh a little bit, and then I do a little bit of actual movement, and then I go back and mesh some more things. It's like I probably should get the entire head meshed before I start doing any movement, just because, well, I mean, I can just, I want to be able to move the whole head, of course. Along here, this little foggy area. But yeah, and I can't make the whole head move until I have it all meshed, so I might as well just mesh it all out. It's like I could just do the eyes and immediately start like some blinking animations and stuff, but I prefer to have the whole head meshed before I really start digging into stuff. Okay, so this is where things are going to start getting a little bit messy. I'll see if I want any more on the inside there. I might. But this doesn't look like an area that I have to be super particular about. And if I'm wrong, I can always remesh it. It's fine. It's totally fine. At this point, I can just make a guess and See if it's right. Mistakes are pretty easy to correct with a lot of this kind of stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't think I need anything more inside there. So I think this covers pretty much all of it. I'm just gonna add a few here and there to make everything a little bit neater. There we go. Alright. Now I just want to check for bad triangles. Kind of wish I could change the color of the lines here. They're a little bit hard to see against this kind of pinkish color. So here I'm kind of... Remember when I was going around there and I had to make the triangles a little bit bigger than I otherwise would have? Just so it put the connecting lines in the right place. I'm going back and fixing that now. Putting them right where I want them. And I don't really care about how the triangles look on the inside here, so I'm not going to bother to clean any of those up. They're not important. There's nothing inside here. But on the outside, I probably will still clean up some of the triangles. Looks like all the ones in here are okay. Didn't mess them up at all. Let me make these a little bit neater. The ones out here don't matter that much, but it's the principle of the thing. And if I want this to be able to move at all, then I should care a little bit. And that's fine because it kind of sticks out there. Yeah, you can see some of the ones along here got kind of torn up. I guess I didn't mind that much when I was initially doing it. Okay. So I think this should be good. And now I can copy this back onto the head. And the headlines. That should be everything I need for the head. So for this, I think I'm gonna copy it from the hair. So I'll do all these hair shadows a little bit later. But I can just go ahead and grab the eye socket real quick. These do not need especially detailed meshes. Actually, in fact, I think I can probably get away with using the auto mesh here. All the parts. Let's try it. And then again, maybe not. Because that didn't even cover it all. Okay, but we'll start there. I'd say the auto mesh in Inochi2D is still just okay. That's why I don't actually use it that much. And I just generally mesh everything myself, but let's see what I can make it do. Maybe just for these parts, let it get it started. And then I can clean it up a little. Alright. And then for here I do the same thing, but I just flip it over. See, this is why I was very insistent on making things symmetrical when I was doing the art. Anywhere I could get away with it. Here's not that important either. Let's see if let's make this a bit smaller. Maybe 5 maximum, that's fine. Still did not completely cover it. Okay. Well, it's doing its best. But yes, I'm reminding myself of why I did not use the auto mesh very much. But it's alright. I'm still gonna give it a try. See if I can't save myself a bit of time and effort. Admittedly, I don't know how to use it very well either, which probably doesn't help. Alright, we'll get one in here. Probably not going to be doing that much deforming of the ear. So it doesn't need to be too particular. That should be fine. Alright, looks like we're getting into the hair. I am not even going to attempt to auto-mesh these. This is too important. This is very thin, so I think all I'm going to do is kind of go back and forth across here. Let's see here. Zoom in real close so I can really see what I'm doing. I do this a lot for thin things and sometimes, you know, super thin things like eyelashes. And I want it to be very fine. Because I want the hair to be able to move very nicely. So I'm going to start getting very particular about the mesh here because hair is very important. It is like the best place for physics. So I want to be able to make some nice bouncy hair. And to do that, I have to make sure it can move well. And to make sure it moves well, you gotta put in lots of triangles. Maybe not too many, but a good amount. This is reaching the thickness where I would seriously consider putting something down the middle here, but I think it's just too thin overall. So I think this amount of division should be fine. And you can see that I'm going to have a ton of little triangles to clean up here. It's because having all of those would annoy me so much. I don't think it would actually hurt the rig any, but oh man, would it annoy me. Just having to deal with all those triangles all over the place. It's like, no thank you. I'll just take a little bit of time to clean them up. Alright. Okay, I think that's great. So we'll see if I can get all the hair done today. I somehow doubt I'm going to be able to get through that many layers, but I should at least be able to get a lot of the hair at the front done. So I'm not used to having to deal with line art here, but I think I remember how to deal with it. You just put a bunch of tiny little triangles all around it, and then I should be able to deform it neatly, saving me the pain of having to put all the lines in separate layers. Because I know that there are some people that like it like that, but it just sounds like suffering to me. So right now I'm just kind of doing the dots around the outside. Sometimes I do it like this, sometimes I don't. And what I was concerned about, this big thick piece of line art around here. So I think it'll be easier to do if I just start worrying about dots on one side of the lines and then I go back and do the other side. You can see now I've got the dots for one side of that line there. So now we'll get them for... Well, I guess it's actually going to be both this one and the one below it, which is a little bit unfortunate, just because I don't think I can fit. I guess I'll turn on the triangles now. Since I'm kind of already doing this here. But yeah, I don't think I can fit another layer of triangles in this tiny little slim area, so it just kind of has to be like this. But you can see why I was trying to do them, get all these dots down before I turn on the triangles, because it starts to get a little bit hard to see with all the triangles there. And once they're on, as far as I can tell, I cannot turn them off. Just zoom in a little there. Alright, and that looks like that line accounted for. Guess there's another one kind of through here. You can see I'm trying to get the points in places where when I move them around, it'll move around the various other pieces in the ways I expect. And hopefully things won't get too distorted underneath. I'm just trying to follow the movement of all the shadows and lines and stuff. Because there is a certain rhythm to the art, and you can make the art mesh follow that same rhythm. See if I can't make those triangles look nice too. Maybe a couple in the middle here. This is one of those areas where I think it's good to make the mesh detailed. That's why I'm pretty sure I won't finish the hair today. just because it is going to be a bunch of very detailed meshes. Just so I can properly follow the edges of everything here. But I think I can get most of the front hair done before I'm ready to stop. Rigging is one thing where I'm pretty sure I could go like 6+ hours with no problem, but I unfortunately do not have that kind of time to stream it live. So we'll just have to do it a couple hours at a time every day. Let me see, do I need... Yeah, I probably do want a little something over here. Okay. So now I guess I'll start getting the outer edge over here. Doing my best to ignore all the yellow lines. Trying to cover everything. I do make it a little bit hard to see sometimes, though. That's why sometimes I don't turn them on immediately. Trying to stop myself because I was starting to make the triangles a little bit bigger than they were further up, and I do want them to be very, very small. There we go. Okay, so that should be that outer edge. I'll worry about the lower part in a second. I kind of want to get the lines here dealt with. And just put it like directly on each side of the line art. And that should make it very easy to deform it. At least from my understanding of how this works. Like I said, I don't typically use line art, so I'm not super used to dealing with it. And I'm just gonna have to be careful when I go and fix all the lines, because some of these are definitely not in places where I want them. But I don't think there's much I can do about it now. Like, when I was dealing with the head shadows, I could at least just make the triangle bigger for a little while. But here, I don't think there's much I can do about it. I just gotta remember to fix it. And you know, if I forget it causes a problem, I'll just fix it then. It's not that big a deal. Not that big a deal at all. Right here, I'm just moving the points a little bit closer to the edge here. Just trying to keep things as neat as I can. Just doing everything I can to help out my future self and make all this as easy to move around as possible. But yeah, I think I will probably stop for the day once I finish meshing out the front hair there. I'll get started on this side and just on the frontmost parts. And as you can see, meshing all this stuff takes a little while. I'll probably have a couple of days of meshing, and organizing layers before I actually get started on movement. So I hope you all will look forward to it. And I'll show the entire process start to end as always. Absolutely nothing cut. Every single piece will be recorded live. This way, if you decide you want to try something like this too, you can follow along with me. Like I said, I will have the art uploaded today, so you can download that for free. And I will include a link to it in the description once I have it uploaded. This way you can have a little something to practice with without having to take a bunch of time to draw it yourself. See if you like it. I think it's a pretty good time. I have greatly enjoyed doing this the few times that I've done it. Honestly, with as late as it is, I might have to stop after just doing the front bangs. Just because this one is really complicated. I didn't expect it to take me quite so long. It's just one of those things. I want to make sure it looks nice. And that it'll be nice to work with in the future. Because I will be moving around hair a lot. Don't want to mess around with that. Oh man, I really can't wait to show you the joy that is hair physics. And I can just spend hours flipping the character's head back and forth and watching the hair move. It's a good time. Creativity has a lot of very simple joys. Yeah, this is gonna be a mess to clean up, but I'll manage. It's fine. Alright, so now let's start working my way down the interior. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the last thing I do today. It's already getting kind of late. I'm getting a bit hungry. Hair is a nightmare. Like it's the best, but it is absolutely a nightmare. Don't get me wrong. It just once you getting it to that point where it's all working and super cool and floofy and you can move it around and have a great time. Great. Getting it there, it takes a while. It takes quite a while. The best part is, you know, once I get this mesh done, it's done. It'll be done forever. I don't have to do it again. But I can use it again and again and again. There's several places in the rigging process. Every time I do something with the hair, I'll be using the mesh. So it's good to get it nice. So here I'm putting a little bit of mesh around the edges of the highlight. This way I can move it around just a little bit. I decided not to separate them. Decided that was, for what I wanted to do, not something that I needed to do here. I've seen some people do some very nice things with separated highlights, but I don't think I want to do any of them, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to save myself some effort. Because separating those out would have been painful. As you can see, there's this little line coming down this highlight, so I'm kind of putting some stuff into it, but I think this should be fine for the rest of it. Let me go ahead and a little dot right there. We'll send this down through here. And I can see there's a little bit of a color change here. So I'm going to put in some dots around here just to make it so I can move that transition around a little bit more easily. This is about how I think about meshing things. I just look at where the textures are and just try to put dots around them. Anything that I want to be able to move around a little bit, or that I want to be able to be moved around smoothly, they all need some dots around them. And then you don't want like an excessive number of dots. That will just start to get kind of unwieldy and hard to use, and it won't necessarily actually improve your mesh. And I think I will want some up there eventually, but I kind of want another layer through here. So it is a balancing act. Because like sometimes I do have to go in and just adjust the dots manually, and that can get pretty bad if you have too many. But this is a pretty okay amount, I think. This isn't too bad at all. Alright, I think I have stuff around most of the parts. Oh no, I don't have anything around here yet. These are thin. So I think I'll just let it be like that. Let's see, is there anything else that really needs some extra triangles? No, I think this should be fine. Now we gotta go clean it all up. And I will try not to cry. It's okay. I make it sound bad when I put it like that, but it actually isn't too bad. Did I miss some dots? I think I did. Well, that's okay. I can add them now. It's not that hard to connect things. Let's see, how do I want to do this? This is probably fine. I connected to that, and this connected to this. Looks a bit weird, but I think it's okay. And once again, I really wish I could change the color of those lines. Oh hey, Luna, if you're watching. Here's a minor feature request. Maybe I'll admit something like that at some point, but... This is fine. I think this is all running the way I want it to. I'm just taking a look and making sure that the lines are all kind of following the spine of the hair like I want. Let me just get rid of these ones on the outside here. Let's see, is that just an extra? Oh. Okay. Let me take a little bit of a closer look here. This is going up here. No, this isn't right. This is fine, fine. Yeah, all that is fine. So I'll get rid of all the extra triangles around here. Clean up the vertices at the end. Oh shoot, I didn't get the top part there. Okay, well I don't really feel like having to go through and clean up all the stuff that I just did, so I will do it manually, I guess. I got so caught up in some of the other stuff I was looking at that I forgot about these guys that needed to be here. This is where I wish I could just triangulate vertices for a small portion of it. Let's see here. How should all these be connected? I'm not used to having to do this myself. I think that way's better. I do know that I want it to be like this, so I'll go ahead and do that. And then figure out how to divide these after. I think this should go this way. And yeah, I'm gonna have to divide it like that if I want it like this. I can go over there. Let's see. This is why I don't normally do it myself. I find it pretty hard. I think this one might just be extra. But it looks like I got it all. I think I have them all connected properly. If I don't, I'll notice later. When things look wrong. And I'll just be like, what the heck even happened? Hopefully I did not create any problems for my future self. I do try to be kind to her. Actually, I think this one's extra too. Let me just finish getting the ones around the edges here. And I'll go back and check to make sure all of the other ones are connected on the inside, right? Yeah, like this one's not. Yes, yes. No. I guess that's fine. Let's move that over a little bit. Okay, that one's wrong. I definitely want to be careful coming down here. But it looks like all the rest of them look okay. Can I get away with connecting it like this? Yep, looks like I can. Alright, that looks fine. All of this looks fine. Maybe not here. How exactly do I want to do this? An ideal would be something like this. Yeah, I think that's better. Up here is all correct. Let me start straightening out the triangles a little bit. tend to like to just get it all done and look at it from a high level. Once it's all kind of decided and I know where everything is roughly going to be, and then I can have a good idea of how the triangle should be shaped. And this will be a good chance for me to check to make sure I didn't miss any vertices. Or that all the lines are following the spines of the, as I call it. That everything is kind of going to the right place. This is extra. That everything is following the right directions and all that good stuff. All good. But yeah, looks like most of it is pretty good. Probably fixed all the spots that were bad. Yeah. No, it's just a matter of... Oh, that's an extra. I got a couple of extra. We'll clear those. There you go. Make sure all the triangles are in a good spot. This is one of those things that you're not going to have much appreciation for until it comes time to actually make things start moving. This is a very important step, and I do not want to skimp out on any of the details. But alright, I think that's good. Let me see, did I connect those? Yes, I did. Alright. We have a bang mesh. And I think that is where I will stop for today. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at any of your creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, you know, any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me or on Twitter or Instagram. And I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. Oh, I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.